Hello. Today I will be discussing with you the important topic of population control in China. Population has been a calamitous problem for the country of China for the last century, and probably even longer than that. Ever since it first became one of the world's leading superpowers, China's population has grown at an alarmingly rapid and voluminous pace. As it currently stands, China is the world's most populated country, with a total population of close to 1.38 billion people. However, this outrageously high number would be even higher if China's government had never implemented any policies that tried to control or limit its population. The Chinese government had manifold reasons why they wanted to control the population of their nation, the most significant of these being the threat of overpopulation. Overpopulated countries have the potential to exponentially increase Earth's depletion of natural resources and end humanity as we know it. Although China's population control policies are surely the most sensible and reasonable method to control overpopulation in China, they are currently producing negative consequences for the Chinese people that will negatively impact them for many generations to come. Therefore, leaders of the Chinese government should incorporate more flexible conditions into their population control policies so that citizens of China can enhance their standard of living while simultaneously protect themselves from a populous country with too many people for China to sustain itself. Indeed, having these restrictions placed on Chinese citizens is an undeniable violation against a natural right that should be given to every human on Earth. The right to reproduce freely and without the fear of recourse, and many in China accrue atrociously negative consequences if they produce more offspring than they are allowed. Today in 2017, people in China still have this right restricted, and as of 2015, their government is enforcing a policy known as the two-child policy, where couples that have over 2 children are subject to fines and other more severe punishments, such as forced abortions. In addition to this suppression of rights, China and its citizens will be experiencing social problems for a gargantuan amount of years to come due to its strict population control policies. As a result of China's old one-child policy, its fertility rate plummeted in the late 20th century, with much less babies being born in China than in the decades prior to its conception. This population control policy of China created a nation with a diminishing number of young citizens and a staggering number of elderly citizens. This means a significant portion of residents of China will age out of the labor force. Whereas the social climate in China is in a state of upheaval, its economy is also in an impending state of crisis, with a major cause of this abating economy being the one-child policy that China enforced for nearly 40 years. According to the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, China is set to lose approximately 140 million working-age persons by 2040 due to aging and fewer younger workers available to replace them. UNDESA projections also indicate that China's over 60 population will increase by nearly 60% by 2050. This rise in the elderly population will significantly decrease the labor force in China, crippling its economy. And as long as exorbitant population control in China continues, its economy will only suffer further. Although population control policies have a vast array of reasons that exemplify why they should not be implemented in China, the livelihoods of the Chinese people have greatly improved because of them, and so it is understandable why so many Chinese citizens are in favor of population control. The subject of population control in China is one that is highly divisive and controversial, and it has stirred philosophical debates on its validity and effectiveness for many decades. From a variety of different perspectives of Chinese culture and society, it can be ascertained that the current population control policies are dangerously destructive to the overall well-being of China, and there needs to be a relaxation on some of the more severe aspects of these policies for them to be truly effective. If myself and my fellow Americans make a determined effort to communicate with Chinese officials and get them to rework their population control policies, the best of both worlds can be achieved, where China is protected from overpopulation while its people still maintain most or all of their natural rights.